In this video, we are going to be looking at word problem together. Now, the first thing I would love to do is to give you a list of words and their mathematical expression. So I could have words here and then have mathematical expression. Now, the first word I'm going to be considering is add or sum. Now, when you see add or sum, what does it mean? Plus. Do you understand? Now, when you have, for example, the sum of 5 and 3, it means 5 plus 3. Or add 7 to 8, it means 8 plus 7. Do you understand? So, add or sum, the mathematical expression is plus. I hope that's clear. Now, the second one is subtraction or difference. And the mathematical expression for this is minus. Subtraction or difference. The mathematical expression for this is minus. Now, there's a little difference between subtract from and find a difference between. Now, let me give you some example. If I say find the difference between 21 and 11, the bigger number will come first. So I'm having 21 minus 11. Do you understand? So if I say what's the difference between 5 and 15, the bigger number 15 minus 5 will come first. But if I say subtract 3 from 9, subtract 3 from 9, it means this number after from will come first. So this is 9 minus 3. But if I say subtract 10 from 7, subtract 10 from 7, 7 comes first. 7 minus 10. Do you understand? So when you say subtract from, it means you have something before, you want to take out of it. So that thing has to come first. Subtract 10 from 7, you have 7, you are taking 10 out of it. I hope you understand. Now, number 3, we have multiply or product. Multiply or product. Now, this is times. Do you understand? Multiply or product is times. For example, multiply 3 by 5. 3 times 5. The product of 5 and 10. 5 times 10. Do you understand? Now let's move to the next. The next is division. Division. Now obviously division means divide. Now I need to add that we have multiply. We can also have off. Off is also multiplication. Do you understand? Then for number 5, we have is. Now anytime you see is in a word problem, it means equals to. So for example, if I have 4 times s is 25, what that means is 4 times s. Is means equals to 25. Do you understand? So these are the major words we have in word problem and their mathematical expression. I hope you understand. Now let's take some examples. Now we have this question. The sum of a certain number and 9 is 27. Find the number. Now let's try to solve this. Now the first thing is to represent this certain number since we don't know it. So we can have, let the certain number be x. It could be any letter, x, y, whatsoever. Now let's go. We take it step by step. The sum, what's the meaning of sum? Plus of a certain number and 9. That means x plus 9. Do you understand? The sum plus of a certain number, we've represented it as x, and 9 plus 9 is 27. What did I say is represents? Equals to 27. Can you see? So we've represented it mathematically. So can we find x? Now we collect like terms. 9 goes to meet 27. So we have x When plus 9 crosses the equal to sign, it becomes minus, equals to 27 minus 9. Do you understand? So x equals to 27 minus 9 is 18. So it means x equals to 18. I hope you understand this. Let's take another example. So we have this question. When we subtracted 10 from a certain number, we got 24. Find the number. Now remember, four of us say let the certain number be any letter. We can use y here. Now we go to the question. When we subtracted, what does it mean to subtract? That's minus. We subtracted 10 from, so which would come first? The certain number. Remember, I told you that when you say subtract 7 from 10, 10 comes first. So when we subtracted 10 from a certain number, the certain number comes first. So we have y. And subtract means what? Minus. And then we have 10. Do you understand? When we subtract 10 from a certain number, we got 24. So it equals to 24. Find the number. So we are trying to find y. You collect like terms. Minus 10 goes to meet 24. So we have y equals to 24. When minus 10 crosses the equal to sign, it becomes what? Plus 10. So y equals to 24 plus 10 is what? 34. Do you understand? Let's take another question. So here we have the product of 15 and a certain number is 60. Find the number. Now remember, the first thing you do is let the certain number be any letter. I can use M. Do you understand? Now let's go to the question. The product of 15. What's product? Multiplication. So we have 15 times a certain number. And what did we say we should represent the certain number with? M. Is. What is is? Equals to 60. Do you understand? So we have find M, which is the certain number. You can decide to multiply or just divide immediately, just so you can understand perfectly. 15 times m is 15m equals to 60. To get m, you divide both sides by 15. 15 cancels 15. We are left with m equals to, we can go little by little. 5 here 3, 5 in 6, 1 remainder 1, 5 in 10 2. So m equals to 4. Do you understand? Alright, let's take another example. Now let's do this. We have, if we divide a certain number by 5, you get 25. Find the number. Now remember, the first thing, let the certain number be any letter. So we can put bx. Now we'll go back to the question. If you divide a certain number by 5, so you divide a certain number x divided by what? 5. Do you understand? If you divide a certain number x by 5, you get 25, so equals to 25. Then we have find the number. So remember, this is the same thing as 25 over 1. And I told you in a previous video that when you have one fraction on either side of the equals to, what do? You cross multiply. So x times 1 is what? X. 5 times 25. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 carry 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. So we have 125. So x equals to 125. Do you understand? Let's take another question. So we have this question. When 10 is subtracted from 5 times a number, we have 100. Find the number. So we just go step by step. The first step is let the number be any letter x. Now let's read. When 10 is subtracted from. Now remember what I told you when you have subtracted from. Whatsoever that is after the from would come first. So we have when 10 is subtracted from what? 5 times a number. And what are we representing the number with? We are representing it with x. So 5 times x will be what? 5 times x will give us what? 5x. Do you understand? So we have when 10 is subtracted from 5 times a number, and we've got to 5 times a number by 5x. So what this means is 5x minus 10. Does this make sense? When 10 is subtracted from 5 times a number, we have 100, so equals to 100. Does this make sense? So when 10 is subtracted from, we are subtracting 10 from what? 5 times a number. So can we collect like terms? 5x equals to 100. When minus 10 crosses the equal to sign, it becomes plus 10. So we have 5x equals to 100 plus 10 is 110. To find x, we divide both sides by 5. 5 here 1, 5 here 1. We are left with x equals to 5 here 1. 5 in 11 is 2, remainder 1. 5 in 10 is 2. So we have x equals to 22. Do you understand? I hope you do. Let's take a final example. So we've got this interesting question. 30 is added to the product of 6 times a certain number. The result is equal to 10 times the same number. Find the number. Now don't be intimidated by the question. Just go step by step and you're going to get the answer. So the first thing is, let the certain number be what? Anything. We can choose x. Now let's go to the question. 30 is added to the product of 6 times a certain number. So we have 30. What is added? To add, plus the product. What is product? Multiplication. Product of 6 times a certain number. So we have 6 times. What is our certain number? X. And 6 times x is what? 6x. So we have 6x. Do you understand? 30 is added to the product of 6 times a certain number. So we have 30 plus 6x. Does this make sense? The result is equal to, so we'll put equals to 10 times the same number. And what's the certain number? X. So we have 30 plus 6x equals to 10 times x. Do you understand? Let's go over it again. 30 is added to the product of 6 times a certain number. So we have 30 plus 6 times the certain number which we represented as x is 6x. The result is equal to, so we put equals to 10 times the same number. So we have 10 times x. Do you understand? So we have 30 plus 6x equals to 10 times x is 10x. So we collect like terms. 6x goes to meet 10x because they are like terms. So we have 30 equals to 10x. When 6x crosses the equal to sign, it becomes minus 6x. So we have 30 equals to 10x minus 6x is 4x. Do you understand? So to find x, we divide both sides by 4. 4 cancels 4. 2 in 4 is 2. 2 in 30 is 15. So we have 15 over 2 equals to x. Which means that x equals to 15 over 2. And this is our answer. So I hope you understand perfectly. Don't forget, sum and addition is plus, subtraction and difference is minus. But when you have subtract, for example, 10 from 20, the figure after the from comes first. So this is 20 minus 10. Do you understand? Product of and multiply is times. Division is divide. And then we have is. Is, or the result is as equals to. I hope you understand.